A rare Song Dynasty dragon kiln has recently been unearthed at an ancient kiln site in East China's Jiangxi province, marking a breakthrough of the archaeological activities in the locality since July. The dragon kiln is so far the largest of its kind ever unearthed in China in terms of chamber size. The kiln is 4.2 meters wide, 2 times the usual width of other ancient kilns previously discovered in the country. A researcher at the Jiangxi Provincial Institute of Archaeology said the existing wall of the kiln reaches a maximum height of 3.6 meters. Dragon kilns were usually built along the slopes of mountains. Shaped like a tunnel winding its way up the mountains with a number of potholes along its sides, they were called dragon kilns due to the shape. Xiao Fabiao, director of the research center at Jiangxi Provincial Institute of Archaeology, said they have discovered quite a few Song Dynasty kiln sites and kilns in previous archaeological activities. But the most of the dragon kilns only have their heads and few of them have their tails preserved. This dragon kiln not only has its tails but has preserved tails built in 8 different time periods, which is rarely seen across China. The kiln also has high production efficiency, as a little ceramic waste was found in the chamber. The archaeological activities, jointly carried out by the Jiangxi Provincial Institute of Archaeology and Ganzhou Municipal Museum at an ancient kiln site in Qili town, started in July of 2014. Archaeologists have unearthed 3 dragon kilns and around 30,000 pieces of porcelain, most of which are greenish-white porcelain. Some of the porcelain products are decorated with patterns of traditional Chinese drawings. Such pattern can be seen on the greenish-white porcelain produced in Jingdezhen city, renowned for its pottery and porcelain. Xiaoa said the technical standard and the craftsmanship reflected by this porcelain product are able to match with that of porcelain products in Jingdezhen. A new train service that allows passengers to immerse themselves in China's rich tea culture departed from the country's southwestern Yunnan province to Beijing recently. The Linqiang Culture Tour Train, an initiative launched by the Kunming Railway Bureau, aims to promote the cultural traditions of Linqiang, a city famous for its tea in Yunnan. During their 72-hour journey to Beijing, passengers were served various teas produced in Linqiang and provided with reading materials about the city. Teas and other items were also for sale in the train's gift shop. The Beijing-bound train is the 8th cultural-themed transport initiative to be launched in Yunnan. On another note, the Beijing-Hong Kong high-speed railway train ran through the 6,236-meter-long Shenzhen-Yituan tunnel recently, marking that the inland section of the Beijing-Hong Kong high-speed railway has been completed. The Beijing-Hong Kong high-speed railway will ultimately connect Beijing Z Station in Beijing and West Kowloon Station in Hong Kong. While the Beijing-Guangzhou high-speed railway has already operated in December 2012, the extension section from Guangzhou to Kowloon in Hong Kong is expected to open to traffic in 2017. The tunnel, 14.18 meter wide and 12.13 meter high, reached as deep as 70 meters underground. The project is expected to save at least half of the time for passengers on the train when traveling from Chinese inland cities to Hong Kong after the scheduled opening time in 2017. A Futian station is also under construction, which will connect the Guangzhou and Hong Kong through the city of Shenzhen and is going to serve as a transfer hub for passengers commuting with high-speed railway trains, subway trains, buses and taxis. It is going to be the largest underground high-speed railway station in Asia, with its overall floorage of 140,000 square meters. Dong Ji, the engineer in charge of the station from China Railway 15 Bureau Group Limited, said they designed 12 emergency fire exits and 49 fire zones, as well as rolling gates and hang walls in each one. If any emergency occurs in one of the zones, others will operate because they can be cut off with the facilities. Archers in Otsu City, Shiga Prefecture, fired their first arrows of 2015 at a New Year's event to pray for improved skills. The prefecture's Archery Association holds the event every year on January 3rd. About 50 archers between the ages of 18 and 90 took part at an archery range in the snow. They used Japanese longbows to shoot at targets about 30 meters away. The targets measured 36 centimeters in diameter. Some female archers wore colorful kimonos instead of their usual white uniforms, In Japan's ancient capital Nara, worshippers gathered for a Shinto New Year celebration at the Kasuga Shrine. The tradition dates back around 1,000 years and is held every year on January 3rd. The festivities started with a performance of dance and music known as the Kagura. This style of Kagura is performed only once a year as a New Year's greeting for the gods. 6 shrine maidens wearing wisteria flowers around their heads jingled small bells as they approached the main shrine. This was followed by another Kagura song and dance to pray for a peaceful year. A woman in her 20s said that it was the first time she had seen the event and she thought it was beautiful. She said she hopes 2015 will be a good year. About 100 people have taken part in an event to see the spectacle of a sparkling sun rising from behind the peak of Mount Fuji. People who had been waiting in the freezing cold watched the sun emerge from Japan's highest mountain a little after 8 a.m. Photographers were busy taking pictures for the next 2 minutes until the entire sun cleared the summit of the 3,776-meter mountain. A man in his 20s from Tokyo said he was moved, adding that the sight has made him determined to do his best in the coming year. The Diamond Fuji phenomenon can be observed from the Yamanashi prefecture side of the mountain at sunrise in the late autumn and winter. Kawaguchiko town is holding the viewing events at a tourist facility through January 12th. Meanwhile, visitors at a hot spring resort at the foot of Mount Fuji had the rare pleasure of seeing Japan's highest peak bathed in the glow of the year's first sunrise. The resort in Yamanakako village, central Japan, is a popular tourist destination on New Year's Day. This year, about 70 guests witnessed the UNESCO World Heritage Site shining red in the year's first sunbeams. The sun's rays first lit up the snow-covered peak before 7 a.m. Within about 10 minutes, the entire mountainside was glowing red as guests hurried to take pictures. One visitor said it was his first time to see Mount Fuji so red in the morning sun and that he found it fantastic. An elephant at a zoo near Tokyo has shown off its calligraphy skills for the new year. The female elephant, Yumeka, held a brush with its trunk and drew the character for a sheep, this year's animal based on the 12 Chinese zodiac signs. About 500 visitors applauded Yumeka's skillful handling of the brush under the instructions of a trainer. Yumeka is a talented painter. Every new year, she writes out the Chinese character for the year. A 5th grade student said she also practices calligraphy and hopes that one day she'll be able to produce characters that are as beautiful as those drawn by the elephant. Delhi Police has launched a mobile app Himmat that allows women to send distress calls to the police control room and relatives in times of emergency to curb rising crime against women in the national capital. This comes after calls for improving the safety of women after the recent Uber cab rape case. The app allows users to call the police control room and also trigger a 30-second audio and video recording at the press of the phone's power button. It will enable police personnel to reach the spot at the earliest. Speaking at the launch of the app, Home Minister Rajnath Singh said that the government is having serious concerns over the issue of women's safety. He said the advisory had been issued to all the states asking for deployment of 33% women officials in police departments. The Home Minister also distributed pepper sprays at the launch of the application. Delhi Police Commissioner B.S. Basi said Himmat is the first integrated women's safety app in the country. The important feature which distinguishes this app from others is its speed. Within seconds, it will integrate complainant with police control room, and they will reach to provide necessary help. Khalil Oghab was born in Shiraz in 1924. During his younger years, he was active in Varses Esbatani and subsequently became involved in strongman shows. He was the founder of the first strongman show in Iran that charged an admission and included other acts such as music, acrobatics, and animal tricks. He was also the first man to bring back lions and bears from India for trained animal acts. During the 60s, Khalil Oghab performed in Tehran in venues such as Amjadiya Stadium in front of crowds estimated as high as 50,000 people, and entertained the crowd with acts such as bending metal beams, wrapping iron rods around his wrist, and supporting the weight of 20 passing cars over his legs and chest. He was courted by various film producers for performing in theatres or on television. He eventually appeared in 21 movies, with various other film projects never being completed. Khalil Oghab toured various towns and provinces in the country, and after achieving many domestic honors in 1970, he accepted an invitation from Japan to appear on television. Subsequently, he moved to Ireland in 1971, England in 1972, and then Italy, mainly appearing in circus acts. He spent approximately 20 years in various European, African and Central American countries performing shows until finally establishing a circus in Italy called Iran and Italy. He set many records in Europe, such as lifting a 1,400 kilogram elephant with his feet or carrying a 450 kilogram weight with its teeth. According to his own admission, for 5 years Khalil Oghab lifted 2 elephants on a daily basis. In 1991, upon receiving a government invitation, he returned to Iran with his traveling circus that toured the country. His circus contained 60 performers from countries such as Italy, Romania and Portugal. Khalil Oghab's 2 children, Shahzad and Ibrahim, also accompanied him on these tours and in fact were active participants in the shows. In turn, Ibrahim started his own circus in 2010, for which he invited many foreign-based Iranian performers to take part in. The second international exhibition on nuts, dried fruits and related industries was held in Tehran recently. A total of 79 companies from Iran and 1 from Spain attended the 4-day event, where nuts and dried fruits, dried vegetables, spices and seasonings, beans, saffron and related goods were showcased. Iran is the second largest producer of pistachio in the world. First in exports, dates, second largest producer in the world, peanut, the world's 4th largest producer, walnuts, the world's 3rd largest producer, raisins to the 4th rank, and hazelnuts 5th of world product. The exhibition seeks to establish appropriate grounds to highlight the national and international entrepreneurs of the industry and further to help exchange ideas, technology and products among national and international participants of the exhibition and make business.